Welcome back, everyone, to the Bitcoin Business Bureau. I'm your host, as always, LitecoinLeader. Today I want to talk about a couple different stories and try to merge them together, give you a little bit more perspective on what's really happening with the powers that be and their announcements that they're making and what they really mean. So the first story I'm going to talk about, all these stories are going to be linked down the bottom here, but the first one was that according to the SEC, they were looking at filings across the board for Bitcoin in the U.S. Patent Office, and in the Q4, their lines are weird, but they at the end of 21 / beginning of 22, what they call Q4, which was really ended at the end of January. Doesn't really matter when they draw a line, but at the end of January, there were the number of filings to the SEC for patents that they mentioned or cited Bitcoin skyrocketed. So the numbers as of the end of January of 2022, there were over 150 mentions of Bitcoin that were in the according to the SEC in the filings. That number was 3 times as since a year ago. So year over year, it's up 3x, and no other quarter in the last year had topped 80. So what that really means is that there's a lot of mentions in the Patent Office citing and talking about Bitcoin. That's such a growing market. There are a lot of people trying to patent and preserve their rights. It's an indication of how involved companies or research and R&D and development is going on Bitcoin. So that's story number one. So the SEC pointed that out just to give you an idea of the flavor of where the market is going. There's a lot of interest and there's a lot of activity. Speaking of activity, the New York Stock Exchange recently they enabled, they're looking to get an entrance into digital assets. So they filed for NFT, crypto, and metaverse related licenses, which are tough to get in New York. That's probably the worst state for crypto overall because of the AG and the rules that they have in New York. I can't tell you how many clients, like pretty much every week, they're like, I'm in New York, what do I do? Well, I would like to say move, quite honestly, because it's one of the worst states to deal with. And honestly, that's the answer, that's probably the best answer, but there are ways to work through it. I'm not going to get too far into, but you should have, like, find a friend, find a relative in another state, or move. Even if you have an LLC in another state, it may not work, but we're not going to devolve into a New York discussion. The point I was trying to make about the New York Stock Exchange is that they filed for NFTs, metaverse, Bitcoin, crypto, all this different stuff that's out there. And of course my phone's blowing up. Sorry about that. So the stock exchange had, according to a February filing, they want to. This will give them the ability, according to the Patent Office, to compete with OpenSea, Rarible, Mintable, all these different places that launch NFTs, that NFT marketplace. So imagine that the New York Stock Exchange, say a year from now, maybe 2, they trade NFTs, they trade digital assets, they are involved in the metaverse. So whenever you're looking at different things that are going out there, like this is an indication of how mainstream, these two stories, how mainstream Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is becoming. Not just crypto itself, but also the investment vehicles, your NFTs, the NFT OpenSea, Rarible, the marketplace for NFTs, getting into crypto, getting EFTs. The bottom line is that if you want to know how things are really expanding, follow the money. The New York Stock Exchange has put forth a lot of money towards this endeavor. Companies are filing patents. They're filing interest into Bitcoin. There's a lot of activity in R&D because all the money is heading there and away from the legacy system. So a little bit said there today, a little bit of a rush because traffic is picking up, but it's a little chilly this morning. But I wanted to get out and give you a glimpse of what life is like in Myrtle Beach. It's a beautiful week here in Myrtle Beach. I don't know why you'd still be in New York when opportunities exist in places like this, which have a lower cost of living. I don't want to influence people. I know a lot of people all over the U.S. and I feel bad for people in New York and surrounding states that have issues with either not just the weather, but legacy, the legal, the powers that be, the governments that what they're doing. I don't know why they just don't. I know why they do what they do, but if you can't do what you want to do, you really need to sit down and look at the cost of living where you live. And I understand people have businesses, they have relationships, they have family, their schools. But I'm telling you, but probably I would think that this summer might be a mass exodus out of certain states if they haven't done so already. So here's hoping that that works out. But if you want to know what's happening in the marketplace, look at filings, look at these types of stories, or hey, follow this channel so I can give you this kind of content. So lots said today, but what are your thoughts on it? What are your thoughts about what the stock exchange is doing, about what the SEC filings, about these patents? What are your thoughts? Leave a hashtag patent and leave a comment below, and of course like and subscribe, share these videos. Really helps out the channel, really appreciate it. But again, read the stories that I'm going to link below, think about it, but clearly this is becoming more and more mainstream as I find more and more stories that say that exact fact. So we already knew it was coming, but now we just have a confirmation of what we always believed was going to happen. So everybody's going to be heading here. You're one of the first people there. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay strong, because crypto is the future. We all know it. So I'm going to close the drawer in the bureau, say follow leader one more time, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.